the single tax. I've never heard about it before I started doing my research on the cost of living solo. But don't worry, it's not an official tax. You won't receive a bill or you won't have to check a box to make you pay more taxes. No. But if you ever lived alone with just your own revenue, truly lived it, not a temporary phase between relationships, you know exactly what I mean. It's the extra you pay for everything, simply because there's only one of you. And here's the thing no one wants to admit. Society is not built for us. Hi, I'm Maylene, I'm 37, I'm French, and I have lived by myself forever. Welcome to my channel. I'll share the good, the bad, and the ugly of my life choices, but mostly the good ones because I do love living by myself. So let me explain. When in a relationship, you usually need one bedroom, one kitchen, one bathroom, and so on. And you share the rent in half or in ratio of your income. Did I say that right? Whether it's the rent, the electricity bill, the streaming membership, and they are usually two incomes. Usually. And we're gonna keep this scenario, okay? Now, when you're living alone, you need one bedroom, one kitchen, one bathroom, and so on. But there's no one to split with. That's the single tax. And it goes beyond the rent. Hotels charge per room, not per person. Vacation packages assume double occupancy. Groceries are packed for families of 4. Even meal deliveries sometimes. And you can go check. The minimum order is 2. The world assumes there's 2 of you. And when there's not, you pay extra. So what does this actually look like in my life? I have never lived with a partner, I told you. However, I have shared an apartment with a roommate. And here's something that surprised me. The ends of the month were just as tight. Well, because we needed our own room. We did not share one. Having a roommate split the rent. But you need a bigger place. And it does not double your income. It does not create a financially safety net. It just means that you're taking turn when cleaning the apartment, but still have to argue to get it done. Right now I'm living with my mother. Not because I failed, not because I'm bad with money. I could always improve that. Because on one salary, one single ordinary salary, I cannot afford housing. And for other personal reasons I'll talk about in another video. But let that sit for a moment. I'm 37-year-old. I work. I am responsible. I think I'm responsible. And the math of being single in 2026 means that having my own place is out of reach. I am not complaining. It's just a fact. And I know I'm not the only one. But the single tax is not just money. It's a mindset. And that might be the most expensive one. When you live alone on one income, there's no safety net. You're not budgeting, you're surviving. And that's a huge difference. Budgeting is, I'll put this much towards savings, this much towards fun, and this much toward future. Survival mode is, if nothing goes wrong this month, I'll be okay. And you know what? There's always something going wrong. The car needs a repair, which is okay because I don't have a car anymore, so I'm safe. But maybe you're not. The dentist finds something. Luckily enough, in France, it's not a problem. The laptop dies. That might happen. And it's a MacBook Pro, so that's not the same budget. And when you're on one income, there's no one else to absorb the hit. So my reality is, money is my biggest stress. It's not that I cannot manage it. I could manage it better. It's that I'm constantly in that state of tension. I can't really plan for the future because I'm too busy managing the present. And I can't really enjoy things fully because there's always a voice in the back of my head saying, oh, you should save this. And that's not living, that's enduring. And the food thing, because we're not done here, I have to mention the food thing. I don't like cooking. I've talked about that in another video. I keep things simple, basic meals, whatever I feel like that day. When I try to buy ingredients for actual recipes, you know what happens? They go bad. And half of what I bought ends up in the trash. Because everything is packaged for families. And I'm a one person with fluctuating cravings. So the single tax also lives in my fridge. Please don't ask me why don't you find someone. You need to go check this video then. Like getting in a relationship to save money is a financial strategy? I need you to hear this clearly. being in a relationship with someone, that's usually best, to relieve the financial burden is not a solution. It's a gamble. Because yes, maybe you split rent, but you also split decisions. You split space, you split freedom, you split peace. And there's a very, very real possibility that being two costs more. More outings, more compromises, more spending to keep the relationship alive, to celebrate things. Don't buy me flowers for Valentine's Day, I don't care. Buy me chocolates. To fill gaps you wouldn't have alone. I am not saying that relationships are bad. I'm saying they are not a financial plane. My truth is that the emotional weight of the single tax is real and it's heavy, but I'm not gonna carry less weight by adding another person in my life. So I'm not looking for a partner to fix my finances. I am looking for the world to stop being designed exclusively for more than one. I do not have a solution. If I did, I wouldn't be living with my mom at 37. But here's what I know. Let's stop treating single life as a waiting room. Society expects us to be in a relationship as soon as possible. So the perspective of us choosing to be single and stay single, not just while we're waiting for that rich, handsome CEO to save us and fall in love with us. If you know, you know. Isn't even an option. And then let's get smart about what we control. I am not a financial expert, far from it. And honestly, the day I have more money and can afford it, I'm hiring someone to manage all of that for me. But until then, I'm learning and managing by myself the best I can. And I'm making the best decision I can with what I have. And also, I'm putting in place multiple income streams, one after the other one, to change my fate. Because society won't change anytime soon. My job situation won't change anytime soon. And FYI, I do love my job. I am paid minimum wage, but I work in a safe environment. So I've made the choice not to change because I know what I lose by quitting my job, but there's no guarantee that I would find another safe place to work with a much higher income. So I'll find another way. Conclusion: the single tax is real. It's the rent you pay alone, the groceries that go bad, the vacation you can't afford because the price assumes too, the constant what if something goes wrong. It's exhausting. But it doesn't mean that there's something's wrong with you. It just means that the system is not made for the life we're living. You and I. So how heavy is the single tax on you? Tell me in the comments. If you're carrying this too, tell me in the comments. And if you want to keep having these conversations, the ones that no one talks about, please subscribe. I post every week about living solo, choosing to be child-free, and building a life that is actually mine. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!